Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 105 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. How's it going everybody? Today I'm working on making things look nice. I hope. Maybe. We'll see. I'm poking around in Chisel. This is kind of my process because I'm not great at this. I don't know all the decorative blocks. I don't know what looks good versus what doesn't look good. So my process is mostly just to kind of poke around and chisel and, figure out what blocks exist. And then anything that looks to me like it might fit in that building that we're looking at might be what I want to go ahead and use. So I think for the floor, I'm going to use some kind of brownstone. And for the walls, maybe factory blocks. Because, I mean, it's a factory after all. I feel like factory blocks, that's like a slam dunk, right? Kind of fits. We might want, a couple of those spinning fan guys going on. That might be cool. Yeah. There's a couple different ones, and this is the massive fan that we saw earlier. Ooh, that's kind of neat. See, that's part of a factory block, too. I think all the fans are factory block chisels, which is good. Yeah, nice. So I've got a handful of those already, so I can kind of play with those as it is. Kind of like that little outlet thing. That looks cool. Engineer's pipes looks pretty neat. We'll have to figure that out. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. Today's episode, I think for the most part, will be focused around trying to make the immersive engineering building look good. No promises. I'm going to do my best. Maybe we could use some chiseled fluids. That might be cool. Oh, I have an idea or two. Ooh, I have a neat idea or two. Oh, I want to do something. Maybe we could use some chiseled fluids. That might be cool. So I've got my diamond chisel. I've got this dude. I've got my bit bag. Let's get a bucket. I have an idea or two. This just popped into my head. Sweet. Alright, so this thing is actually running. This guy is filling up his power. I imagine I've got something going on right now. It's probably mostly powering this thing. Yeah, this thing is empty. This guy's filling up. Nice. Speaking of power. Wow, 232 billion RF. And we're still getting a net gain of 271 million RF. So, going nicely. That's, remember, only tier 7, by the way. Anyway, back to the thing that we were working on previously. So let's get some dirt. I want to fill in most of the floorboards here. And I know that generator is a little bit loud. That's kind of like the only downside right now. I wish there was a way to kind of quiet it down a little bit without... I mean, I can use the block from whatchamacallit. That would work. The extra utilities block. That would totally work. The sound muffler. And I might wind up doing that. I'm going to try and stick it back here. Oh, hello. Why do you know sound muffler? I lied. I can't use the extra utility sound muffler. Alright, so that's good to know. Luckily, unless you're right next to the generator, it's not that loud. Problem is, I might be around it a little bit. We'll see what happens. So let's take a look at brownstone. What do you guys think I should use brownstone-wise? Should I use this tiled brownstone? Do you think that would look cool? Let's get a swapping wand. Because I kind of like swapping wands. Let's bump this dude up to 7x7 mode. See, I think that looks pretty cool, right? The other option would be something like that. Or like that. What do you guys think? I kind of like, I think, the lighter coloring. Because remember, it needs to kind of go along with this stuff. Why do I feel like I'm floating or moving? Brownstone make you move faster? That's kind of cool. Brownstone has like a speed buff effect to it. Never noticed that. Nifty. All right, cool. Good to know. So if this is like the wall of the building, right? Now we've got some options there as well, obviously. Lots of options there, obviously. A really large number of options there. That's cool. Wow, there's a silly large number of options going on there. I like that I can left-click this in World, though. That definitely helps. See, that would be cool for, like, any block that I have wire connectors on, maybe. Like, up in the walls. That would be kind of neat, right? That might be cool. What's this dude? This is sloppy plating. Sounds perfect for me. I'm just curious what this looks like because it appears to be some kind of multi-block. That does look kind of neat. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So that's like the base one, the dotted rusty plate. Oh, hello. Getting stuckish. Might be a desynced block here. One sec, be right back. Yep, totally was. Alright, so this is the basic one, right? That also looks kind of cool. Now, wasn't there something that was like rusty? There was something like corroded. Extremely rusty panels, extremely corroded panels, very rusty plate. So, like, what I could do is, like, intermittently have, like, rusty plates going on. That would be kind of neat. Just to give the appearance of, like, a building that's, like, a little bit rusty. Slightly rusty plate. I guess that would be this one, right? Yeah, kinda. I don't know if I love it. Wireframes. I'm definitely going to use these yellow caution blocks for a couple things. Yeah. Kind of like the idea of the, maybe rusty plates. Intermittently sparsed out. But they don't really strike me as rusty. They just look different, right? So I don't know. I think these ones being interspersed, definitely, that looks rusty to me, right? That definitely has a rusty type of appearance. So that's what I'll probably do. I'll intersperse that, and that would be neat. So that might be the walling, right? Mostly factory blocks with the occasional rusty factory block kind of interspersed throughout. Where the floor, which one looks better? Do I want like the raw brownstone, maybe tiled? Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Kind of like the darker brownstone, don't you guys think? Yeah, I kind of think I like the darker brownstone one a little bit better. So let's pick block on that, and we're gonna do the dark tiles for the floor. And I'm gonna definitely need more brownstone. Cool. Yeah, I like that. So now that it's getting bigger, and I'm waiting for more sand to be processed, because pretty much requires sandstone for all this, and I'm getting lowish. And then brownstone is clay and sandstone. So we're getting there, but we have a ways to go. A little ways to go. Luckily, I have sand fully automated at this point, so that's no big deal. Yeah, totally need a lot more blocks. Close, though, close. So while I'm waiting for sand, let's do the chisels and bits thing I had in mind. Can I can. Nice. Biodiesel. That renders in the world, right? Yeah, it totally does. Neat. So what if I did this? That's a nifty idea. And then refresh my memory. Yeah, there we go. Single bits. What if we built up like this is kind of springing a leak kind of deal? Actually, it doesn't want to exist in the same block space as the fluid pipe. So that's kind of a nuisance. See, because this is not a chisel and bits conformable block. So like chisel and bits can exist in this block space, but they can't exist. Good, undo works. I thought it would be really cool if it looked like it was literally springing out of the pipe, but that doesn't look like it's going to work too much. And I don't suppose I'll be able to put them in this. Oh, I can put this in this. Well, that's cool. That's kind of neat. So let's try small cube, or is that too much? That's too much, I think. We're definitely going to want the small bit. And we kind of want it to be like... almost like it's spilling out a little bit, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't love that. Harder to get that look than I thought. I'm trying not to chisel and bit the grass block that's under it. Also, it doesn't help that I could probably go one block space down. And that might help. I guess you're all going into my bit bag. Yeah. So let's put the brownstone back here. Kind of tricky to do. Yeah, that doesn't look natural, really. It's really hard at this angle to like get the bits that you want in the right place. I'm trying. Alright guys, a little bit more of what I've been doing. Just kind of extended that a bit. I'm curious, how does this look? Does this almost look like it's spilling out? I want to say it does, but I defer to you guys. What do you think? Does it almost look like this little thing has sprung a small leak? Because then what I could do is just have it go like that. Oh neat, when you hold a bucket over it, it tells you how much is inside. Well, that's interesting. Is this thing running, or... Well, that's something, isn't it? I assumed when this was full and no longer running, which, by the way, you should be... You are out of seeds. What's up, seeds? Seeds, what's happening down there? Melon seeds. You are out of RF. Ha-ha! Ha-ha-ha. There's your problem. I did get a chiseled grass block. Annoying. Oh well. For the crafter downstairs, we will totally power this thing with RF. Now everything should pop up and start running again. So where did I get the bit block from of grass? I don't know. Grass block, grass block, grass block, glass block. Oh well. I don't know where it came from, but it's going away for now. You can go in my bit bag. So that kind of looks cool, right? Does that kind of look like this thing sprung a leak-ish? I think I need to fix this guy. Oh, neat, I get a particle effect when I stand in there. Because this looks like it's kind of coming out of nowhere. So does that kind of look neat? Yeah, I like it. Looks like, you know, there's a couple holes in the bottom of this fluid tank, and it's kind of leaking into the... Does that look neat? I think it looks neat. I don't know. Alright, good to know. Cool. That looks better. That look a lot better, actually. Yeah. I like it. Alright, so that looks pretty cool. We're making progress. Getting there. I was going to try and make this thing look neat. I don't know how perfect it looks. I'm not good at that, like, random look. Like, I'm good at very structured and patterned looks, I guess. But that random look? Not me. Not so good at that. Alright, so brownstone. We're going to want a little bit more of you because we need more sandstone. And chisel you up into this and this. And let's go over here-ish. Yeah. See, doesn't that look cool? I think it looks cool. I hope you guys like it. Because I am trying. Yeah, we wanted this solemn Galia here. This can stay in the back, and what I could do is turn that into the floating variant at some point, and then he doesn't actually need dirt. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Alright, so that is most of the floor. Luckily, the factory blocks that I want to use are not so hard to craft. So I said I was going to mostly do the walls in this, but then intersperse some rusty plates. So I think that's cool. By the way, this is all behaving again. Nice. So you are probably... Oh, that's off. Wow, that burned out very quickly. Nice. So we definitely have a net gain of power in this room, which is nice. Cool. Alright. Let's try, like, getting this wall up and running. Does that sound cool? So here's what I'm going to do. Let's... I wonder if immersive engineering has its own volume control somewhere. Music and sounds. Doesn't immersive engineering have some kind of block or an item that lets me mute that sound a little bit, maybe? Ear defenders. Oh, that is nice. That works. Okay, I'll take it. Cool. Alright, so that's much better. It sounds like it's just making all block sounds lower, because when I'm placing blocks here, it's definitely making a difference. So that looks neat, right? Yeah, we're definitely gonna need a lot more of those. How are we for stone, by the way? We have 10,000 stone. We're good for stone. We'll put this bucket away. That's good for now. So what do you guys think of this pattern? Does this look good for the walls of this building? See, swapping wand makes this all the better. Can you imagine having to do this without a swapping wand? Forget it. We'd be calling it a day, folks. I don't know how people make such awesome looking buildings in vanilla Minecraft. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know swapping wand had that functionality. Right, so that can kind of be... I should come up with like a border type block. That might look nice. And then let's get some very rusty metal. We'll put away a majority of these dudes. And then, like, let's just say we're going to intersperse the rustiness every now and then, right? So I'm going to make this a 1 by a single mode block. Right? So every now and then it'll be interspersed with like a rusty kind of look to it. Does that look good? Trying to keep it like pseudo-random. Alright, so I'm kind of just randomly clicking around here. Does that kind of look neat? I think so. Let's get more brownstone for the floor. So I'm totally going to need more sandstone. Cool. And then you guys... Nice. So I have another plan. Still don't have the right block? Getting close, though. Getting close. Yeah, this place is looking pretty good, I think. Definitely looks techy and industrial. I know it's still my, like, standard square building design, but, you know, it's all good. So you're good, but you seem to use fuel even if you're not transmitting power. I'd like to kind of automate that a little bit. We'll have to figure out a solution to that. That doesn't require too much wiring, ideally. Come on, sand. Let's go. Rorax would be so proud. She'd be like, Dyer's trying. Trying to make things look nice, Rorax. Not always easy. Not as easy as Rorax makes it look. That's for sure, folks. Yeah, I definitely like the sound mufflers. Or the ear defenders, they're called. Nice. So the next thing I wanted to try doing was getting some factory blocks. And I'm thinking to put them around here. What do you think of that idea? Where we'll just kind of wrap it all the way around the machines. Does that sound neat? I think that looks neat. So you guys are kind of mostly just sitting there. I'm gonna need more factory blocks. That was quick. See, I'm thinking I would actually like the blocks underneath the chests, so it looks like that kind of. Yeah, that looks cool. Help! I'm being crushed. What do you guys think of that? I like it. So looking at this from a distance, I'm not sure if I like having this out here. I wish I could like put a cover on this or something. That would be cool. What do we think of that? That looks a little bit better, right? I think so, at least. I might be wrong, because it's me we're talking about, but yeah. I do miss having my sound cues, though. Not gonna lie. For now. Alright, so you... 48. Close enough. Getting there. Hey, I think that's it. I think we finally have enough brownstone. Awesome. Alright, so now maybe outline these guys. I think this looks good. Not an expert at this by any means, but getting kind of the hang of it, right? Not 100% convinced on the whole, on the wall. I feel like the wall needs something. But overall, this looks pretty good. Right? I'm definitely proud of this. I think that looks cool. Definitely proud of that one. Gonna have to figure out turning on and off that diesel gen. I want it to look both, you know, good and functional. Alright, so that's looking pretty cool. What I'm thinking I might want to have here. So that is 1, 2, 3. Where's my... Oh, there it is. So this could be my entrance, right? Chisel. Just get a couple more of those rusty guys. I mean, it's definitely looking cool. What I could do, if we really want to spruce it up a little bit more, just get another set of these guys, and not the very rusty, but like slightly rusty plate. Would this make sense to have here interspersed? Like maybe super uncommon? Looks kind of neat. Kinda. Not 100% the look I was going for, but it's kind of cool. I don't know. I might switch that one up. We'll see. Not 100% convinced on it. Yeah, I got rid of those. The ones I just placed. I decided I didn't like them. Alright, cool. So that looks pretty good. I kind of wouldn't mind the floor being a little distressed as well, to kind of give it like an aged appearance. But I don't know how well I can do that, short of just swapping it with weathered brownstone every now and then. And that's kind of like a subtle-ish type of look. You know, I could put it like with raw brownstone every now and then. That kind of stands out as it being like a little bit of a weathered appearance, right? Yeah. That actually looks quite good. That looks better than I envisioned. So that looks like, you know, this building's seen better days. It's kind of that's kind of what I'm going for in terms of the look. Like a building that's seen better days type of thing. Let's get some factory blocks again. Because I'm going to need... You know what, let's do the orange ones here. Put on our ear defenders. Cool. Does that look good? Yeah. I'm liking it, right? I had to figure out something for a roof. This building actually probably has to be a little bit taller if this is where the roof line's going to be. So let's... I don't know if the roof is going to be made out of these factory blocks. I think they should be made out of something else. But if this is going to be the roof line, then the whole building needs to be brought up one level. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, so that'll do. Like I might want the top level to be a different block, but we'll figure that out. I think though it's wrapping up point for now. So let's wrap up the episode here. Real quick, out of curiosity, before we wrap up, I want to look at what this. What if I just put this right here? That looks kind of neat, right? And what I could do is stick this here. And then have you... That looks cool. I like it. All right, wrapping up point. Direwolf 20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will come back next time and maybe finish off making this building look cool. Maybe not. We'll see. For now, take it easy.